Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about my tires I got on my Jeep. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys, I've never really talked about these tires. I have about 8,000 miles on these. These are Goodyear Wrangler MTR tires. They're 35 by 12.5 by 15. So I kind of wanted to just kind of give you guys an overview on if you guys haven't had big tires in your Jeep, you're looking for tires. Just kind of wanted to give you my opinion and just kind of experiences after the last about 8,000 miles on them. For reference, I did have a set of 31-inch Goodyear Wrangler MTRs on my Dakota, and I had those for probably, I'd say, around about 50,000 miles of mine. So I kind of have an experience with the two different sizes. So I'm just gonna kind of talk about the differences here. All right, so we'll take a look at the tire. So when I was looking at tires for my Jeep, there was a couple different tires I was looking at. I was looking at the Toyo Open Country. I was looking at the BFG or BF Goodrich, the KO2, which is an all-terrain tire. This is a mud terrain tire, so this is going to have a little more aggressive tread pattern than an all-terrain is going to have. But from my experience with these tires, even being a 35-inch tire, they're really not that loud. So I would say that my 31-inch Goodyear Wrangler MTR tires were actually louder than these 35s. Granted, I did have more miles on my 31-inch tires, and these only have 8,000 miles on them. But even from the start, the 31s seem to be louder. And my guess on why that is the 31-inch tire is actually rotating quicker than a 35-inch tire is, just because of the diameter and the actual size of the tire. So that's maybe why that the 35s are actually spinning a little bit less than the 31s. But anyway, so as far as like mannerisms on the street, these are just a fantastic tire. You really don't notice. To me, they actually ride better. This setup right here rides better than it did bone stock. Bone stock, it was kind of bumpy, and you kind of bounced in around a lot, and you just have a ton more sidewall on a 35, obviously. So this does flex a little bit, So when you're driving around, you're gonna have some, a little bit more cushiony ride, I would say. So that's definitely one thing to consider. But like I was saying before, I was choosing between those different tires, and it really was between the KO2s and these. I just really like the tread pattern on this. It just has the coolest looking tread pattern. The side, sorry, not tread pattern, but the sidewall. It's just really aggressive looking, and then the tread pattern actually is pretty cool too. But just the way the tires looked, that was kind of the main thing that kind of brought me to these tires in the first place when I got them from my Dakota. So yeah, I really like them a lot. So they just look great. As far as how loud they are on the street, I'll maybe throw in some clips of how loud they are. As far as noise levels go, I'll push the clutch in so you guys can hear. I'll just turn the Jeep off. But the tire noise is very, very quiet. So, you really don't hear it unless you really listen for it. When you're going to this size tire, it is going to be louder than obviously a stock tire. But for me anyway, once you get to about 55 and above, they start to get pretty noisy. Like if you're cruising on the freeway for a long period of time, at 70 miles an hour or 75, they're going to be pretty loud. My exhaust is pretty loud too. So once if I drive on the freeway for a long time, they're decently loud. They're not deafening yet anyway. So I'll give you guys an update for sure once these are more towards the end of their lifespan. and how loud they get. They definitely have gotten louder from when I first bought them. I was actually shocked at how quiet they were. They were like almost literally sounded just like stock, and now that they're kind of wearing it a little bit, they've gotten a little bit louder. So that's just something to consider. To me, the loudness doesn't bother me. It's a Jeep. I have a soft top. The soft top's a little noisier. My exhaust is very loud. So having a louder tire really doesn't bother me at all. So, but yeah, this tire is definitely a tire I'll always run. If I ever go a bigger tire, I'm going to get the same tire. It just looks the best in my opinion. And from what I experienced with my Dakota, and then now with the Jeep, it's just a great tire. Looks great. Another thing too is it doesn't, when you're driving on the street, it with such a tall sidewall, you would think it would feel kind of mushy and gushy while you're going around corners, and it's got really great street mannerism. So this is a really good street tire for being a mud terrain tire. I've heard some other people kind of complain about other tires as far as, it just kind of drives numb and just kind of not nice on the street, where these drive just awesome on the street. Like I said, I had them on my Dakota, and when you're going around corners, it's not mushy feeling. It's just really nice. So, but these are wearing really nice and even. I have rotated them a couple times already, so I think that's the key. Just keep rotating them. Make sure they're wearing evenly. Make sure you do an alignment when you do get new tires. Always do an alignment. So, because you invested a decent amount of tires, so you might as well want to get the most length out of them as you can. So, but yeah, okay. So I did a little bit of measuring. So I measured my spare here. So I came around, I measured the spare, I measured the kind of this inner lug here. Here, we'll go to this tire. I measured this lug right here, just this one. So brand new. It measures, you guys can't really see this here, but the new tread depth in that area, anyway, so this isn't super scientific, obviously, but the new was roughly 1.6 centimeters tall from the inside of the tire to the top of the lug. And then with 8,000 miles on it, I've taken away 0.2 centimeters. So that went down to 1.4 centimeters. So if we take 1.6 centimeters divided by 0.2 centimeters, that gives us 8. So there's 8.2 centimeters in the 1.6. So if we take 8, and I had 8,000 miles, if we do 8 times 8 is 64. So I should get, based off of this math, 64,000 miles. And obviously, you don't want to go all the way to the, get rid of all the tread. But, from what I experienced with my Dakota, I got them put on at, I believe it was 95,000 miles. And it's at 150,000 miles now. And it definitely needs to be replaced. So, getting 50,000 miles out of a huge tire, for me, I only drive probably, 4,000 or 5,000 miles a year. So, I'm getting I'm getting a decent amount out of these tires. And this is just driving on the street too. So that to me is more than good. And these tires actually in the 15-inch wheel aren't that bad. I think I paid, I want to say, around $200 a tire, maybe a little bit more. If that's wrong, I'll put it up on the screen there. But really not bad considering, getting a 35-inch mud tire, and these are kind of a little bit nicer of a tire. So, but yeah, so I'd be happy with getting 5 years out of these tires. That's plenty good for me. You're not getting 100,000 miles out of these tires or anything crazy like that. I don't think I'll get 64,000 miles out of them, but if I can get 40, 50,000, I'll be more than happy. So, because like I said, I really don't drive, I drive the Cobra and this, so I really don't put a whole lot of miles on it. So I see these lasting me, a very long time. So, but yeah, other than that, I really don't have to say much more about these tires. I guess off-roading, I haven't tested these off-road. That'll come springtime here. It's still freezing here, so once I upgrade that tire rod I was talking about, add some bump stops, new drag link, all that kind of stuff, get set up to do some trail riding, I'll let you guys know how these tires do. But if you look online, you can see a bunch of these guys who have these Jeeps or have these tires. They love them, so it's definitely a good off-road tire. It is Kevlar reinforced on the sidewall, which is nice. Like I said, I'm not scraping these up against rocks, but if I ever do, it's a really it's real tough. So that is the one nice thing about these tires. But yeah, so if you guys are at all considering getting the Goodyear Wranglers in a 35-inch or even a 31-inch, I highly recommend them. These have been just absolutely great tires for me, and this is probably the only tire I'll be using on my Jeeps. So yeah. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this short little review, I guess you could say, and just kind of my experiences after 8,000 miles with these tires. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Definitely consider subscribing. That helps me out a lot, guys. And I will see you guys in the next video.